Hi, I'm Kevin Spunde, and I'm a bass player. I'm going to go over some of the hottest gift ideas this holiday season for the bass player in your life. Buying music gear is not really a one-size-fits-all experience, so when you're shopping for a musician, it can be a little hard to know where to start. To help you make the best choice for your bass player, here's an assortment of larger, mid-size, and then stocking stuffer types of ideas for you to consider. Let's start big with some basses. First up is the Fender American Professional 2 Jazz Bass. You can never go wrong with a great standard jazz bass if someone doesn't already own one. They come in a ton of different options and finishes as well. When buying someone a bass, it can be a rather personal and emotional item, so definitely try to stealthily pick their brain first to figure out what they might want. Or give their Sweetwater sales engineer a call and maybe see if we can't help you pick something out together. Next is the Cordoba Mini 2 Bass MHE. This is a fun little acoustic bass to noodle around on, and it's the type of thing that a bass player might not think to buy for themselves, but it's really fun to have at home, in the office, or even on the road, just to kind of practice on and have fun with. Next up, we have the Ibanez Mikro GSR-M20 and this Squier Mini Precision Bass. These are both really good beginner basses for a child or someone with a smaller frame or hands, or even somebody switching from guitar to bass. Also too, for seasoned bass players who might just benefit from having a more compact option to play on the road or at home or in the office. Next up, we have a couple items that a bass player plugs into. So don't forget to get cables, double check if these need a power supply or batteries. Here we have the Blackstar Fly 3 Bass Pack. This is a fun mini amplifier for a player of any skill set. It's very small, not super loud, so it's actually kind of nice for you parents out there. This is going to be your child's first bass and amp. This can actually fit on top of like a work desk, on a coffee table, or even a suitcase if you're traveling. And here we have the X-Vive Audio U2 Digital Wireless Guitar System. These wireless systems are really convenient for using at home, at rehearsals, or even small gigs. They make a great stocking stuffer for just about any level player, and you can make life easier when you're not physically tethered to your amp via a cable. If your bass player has an active bass, make sure they also get the add-on H1 U2. Item ID is the H1 strap. If you're not sure, just ask them if they need batteries for their bass, and play it off like you're just picking up some stuff later from the grocery store or something like that. Next up is the Tech 21 Sansamp Bass Driver DI V2. It's the Sansamp. It's a very standard preamp pedal, probably the most recorded preamp pedal to be honest, and it'll give your bass player very familiar tones and sounds when recording or playing live. Next up, we have the Electro Harmonix Deluxe Bass Big Muff Pi. It's a great fuzz pedal. Everybody could use one. I personally have one. This is one of the most standard pedals for any bass player to own. They need one even if they don't know that they need one. There are so many classic tones to be had out of this pedal. Plus, you get more options out of the Deluxe version than what you'd get with the standard Big Muff. I've got this pedal, and I think it would have made a great gift if somebody else would have bought it for me. Next up is the MXR M87 Bass Compressor Pedal. If you're not a bass player yourself, you might not know much about compression or compression pedals. And even if you are a bass player, you still might not know much about compression. Fortunately, this is a great standard compression pedal. Most bass players don't know the benefits of using compression, so this can really help them out in ways they might not have known before. Next up, we have the Dark Glass Element Cab Sim and Headphone Amp. Cab Sim pedal is great for anybody playing live or recording. And what is a Cab Sim? Well, it's a device for mimicking what a mic'd cabinet sounds like. So it's actually really helpful for live use and in the studio. Plus, this also works great as a headphone amp. So it's awesome to have while traveling or just practicing silently at home. This can make a difference in their tone that a bass player might not have discovered otherwise. That's why I consider it a sneaky good gift. Next up is the Peterson Strobostomp HD Pedal Tuner. It's a super accurate, high quality tuner, and it's a really good choice even if your bass player already owns a tuner pedal, since it'll certainly be an upgrade. And we have the Radial ProDI 1. That's a great quality DI, sturdy. It's a lot better than all the cheapest DI boxes out there, but it's also not as expensive as other options. A good quality DI box is a super underrated thing to own as a bass player. This is a great thing just to always have on you in case of emergencies. Next, we're going to look at some cases, kits, accessories, and stocking stuffers. First up is the Mono Vertigo Electric Bass Hybrid Gig Bag. I personally own this gig bag, and it's awesome. It's the only bag that I would fly with a bass in it. It's durable, sturdy, provides more protection and support than most other gig bags. This is a big brain gift idea. And we have the Groove Gear Kapsule Hybrid Gig Bag. This is a really high quality traveling case, and speaking of flying, this is the perfect gift idea for any bass player who does a lot of traveling. It's purpose built for exactly that. Next is the Gator Economy Bass Gig Bag. This is a great inexpensive option for somebody who's just getting their first bass guitar and you need to provide protection for it. And then we have strings. These are the DR Dragon Skin 45 to 105 coated bass strings. Strings are expensive and most bass players don't change them as often as they should. So buying your bass player a couple sets of strings for the holidays is actually kind of a good idea. But be careful when doing this because strings are very specific to every player. You will want to double check what they use before you buy. Slyly ask them or dig through the trash or give their sales engineer a call to find out what strings they actually prefer themselves. Next up is the Groove Tech Bass Player Kit. This kit, or just anything like it, is really a must-have for anybody who gigs out a lot. I always have one of these on me at all times at shows and a spare in my music room as well. And we have the Music Nomad Premium Guitar Care Kit. Do you know someone who likes to keep their things looking neat and new? Well, polish kits make a great little gift for any musician. It's another one of those things that I'd never think to buy for myself, but I'd always appreciate it and use it if someone bought one of these for me. And we have the Hercules Stands GS414B+. It's a great quality guitar stand, and that's something that's always appreciated by musicians. It's a great upgrade from all of the cheapest options that someone might already own. I would personally actually love to have one of these. And we have the Levy's MSS C4 Cotton Bass Strap. You can't go wrong with the strap. Basses are generally heavier than guitars as well, so getting a wider strap like this at 3 inches actually helps dissipate that weight across a larger area, making it more comfortable to play bass for longer periods of time. We do carry tons of straps, so definitely spend some time digging through the website and see if there isn't something that you like more with the same kind of width to it, like the Levy's DM1 3-inch wide leather bass strap. This is also a wider strap, but it's upgraded and has leather. And we have my favorite clip-on tuner. It's kind of weird to be passionate about a clip-on tuner, but I probably own like 10 of these and I would own 10 more of them. They work really, really well and fast on bass. They're easy to read and super accurate as well. And we have FretWraps from Groove Gear. I love these. If nothing else, they at least make you look more legit. But they really are for somebody who's doing a lot of more complex stuff, maybe tapping and chordal things with harmonics. They're helpful for just kind of deadening open strings and making playing sound cleaner. For bass players, you'll want to make sure you get the medium size for 4-string and then large for a 5 or 6-string bass. We also have the Fump 5 Bridge Side Dampener. What does this do? Well, helps your bass sound warmer and thumpier. Think classic R&B Motown type bass tones. Players actually used to use a piece of sponge and put it under their strings at the bridge. This effectively does the same thing without having to cut up a kitchen sponge. Don't forget to complete the experience this holiday season. There are a lot of products on this list that might require batteries, power supplies, or extra cables, and there's a lot to consider when looking at bass gear, so feel free to give your Sweetwater sales engineer a call if you have any questions about music products, or if you need any more musical gift ideas. Thanks for watching.